Hey there, good morning. How's everybody doing? That's me, Gus Wagner, and there I am right there, live. Gus Wagner with the Rocket Group. Got a little Roy Orbison going here this morning. Sweet dreams, baby. Playing here on the internet. Hey, Chris Russell, how you doing? Hey, this morning, Christmas Eve. First off, Merry Christmas to those of you who are partaking in the holiday. I hope you're all having safe travels. If you're traveling, if you're watching this live while you're driving, please pull over. Hey there, how you doing, Jimmy? Jay Smitty. We're going to be talking about some recruiting and some hiring on LinkedIn today. It's part of our 31 days of LinkedIn. Actually, I've got something better than that. It's our 31 days, hashtag 31 days of LinkedIn. Look up that hashtag across all the social media platforms. You'll find links. Of course, you can always go to rocketgroupllc.com to find all of that information as well. I think this is our 23rd post of the 31 we promised you throughout the month of December. We're covering LinkedIn. If you have any LinkedIn questions, challenges, obstacles that are going on in your life, feel free to ask them here in this Periscope. Send them to me directly at Rocket Group on Twitter. You can DM me there. At Rocket Group here on the Periscope as well. And be sure, if you find this useful, to send this out to your followers as well. There's a little link right there in your Periscope view window to share this Periscope out live with all of your followers. We sure would appreciate that. So let's get to the subject matter at hand, and that's recruiting and hiring on LinkedIn. So this is something, obviously, that's very important to the functions of LinkedIn, recruiting and hiring. People are there, people have used it since 2003 as a resume dump. You've uploaded your resume and then you kind of set it and forget it and such. But there are proactive ways that employers, businesses, organizations, nonprofits, what have you, can hire and recruit through LinkedIn. And we've worked with several different types of organizations over the years. We've done a lot of speaking and training in the physician recruiting field when it comes to recruiting on LinkedIn. We spoke to several HR type associations about LinkedIn and such best practices, and they keep bringing us back. So I think we're hitting some nails with the hammers here. So let's talk about some levels of high-level things that you can do as a business, organization, or nonprofit when you're recruiting and hiring at LinkedIn. And also, too, if you're a candidate, if you've ever gone through a hiring experience through LinkedIn, send me your messages as well. Let me know how your experiences went, because I'm always interested to hear good, bad, and indifferent stories about how transactions went from both sides of the fence when it comes to hiring and recruiting on LinkedIn. So the thing is that to recruit effectively, and this is our SEO statement here, to recruit effectively on LinkedIn, you need to consider it takes more than the open job placement to attract applicants to your business, organization, or nonprofit. It's going to take a lot more. It's going to take, because it's not just the applicant you're trying to attract, it's probably a trailing spouse, it's probably a trailing family, and those folks are going to be doing some detective work on your world that you're trying to bring their parent or life partner or spouse or what have you into. And they're going to have a lot of say when it comes to that recruitment placement for your organization. So if you're going to be out doing these things on LinkedIn, yes, use the hiring hiring tools. Put your job opening out there. Do that. But only after you've done many of these other additional tasks. First, you've got to be active. If the first thing that you do as a LinkedIn hiring person is put out that open job placement with no other digital trail, no other social proof, no other nothing, you're not going to be very successful when it comes to getting quality type of applicants for your open position. You need to have your LinkedIn page for your organization, business, or nonprofit. You need to have a personal page for yourself as the placement person, as the hiring person, so you get some information about yourself and what your achievements, etc., are, so that there's, again, that social proof, that digital trail out there. If the Rocket Group was to put a hiring ad out there, and they went out there and saw our dormant LinkedIn page, and they went out there and saw our steadily improving personal page, it would create an impression in their mind, just as if your LinkedIn activity or your social activity or your web activity is in various stages of of activity, of active activity, then you're creating an impression for the person that you've got going on, or you're trying to recruit to your organization. So think about that first impression, that digital first impression that you make. It's a red flag if there is no activity. It's a red flag if there's little activity. I think it's a bigger red flag, honestly, if there is a flurry of activity on your digital and social footprint in the week or days leading up to when you place that ad, that you were trying to create some activity and such. So, everything's time-stamped on the internet. Everything is searchable on the internet. The internet is like a diamond. It lives forever if you put it out there. So you've got to be careful and build that digital footprint so you have some legitimacy for the people that you're trying to recruit and their families as well. So again, have a page, have a LinkedIn page for your business, organization, or nonprofit. If you're doing this through LinkedIn, you need to have those social tools, be utilizing those social tools as well to again, increase your social proof, increase your legitimacy, increase the digital footprint that you have for your organization that you're trying to recruit these folks into. If you're missing these things, if they're missing activity, if you're missing long stretches of activity, it sends a message to the people that you're trying to recruit, and maybe you're not getting the best applicants for those positions. Another thing that you should do is to have testimonials. Have testimonials on that LinkedIn page for your business, organization, or nonprofit. And this is, they call them recommendations here on LinkedIn, but we all know that they're testimonials. This is great if it's good. Let me say that. It's good if the recommendations are coming from your internal audience, from your employees and such, saying, hey, the Rocket Group's a great place to work. Hey, the Rocket Group treats us fair. Hey, we don't have to work a full day on Christmas Eve. Those are good. It's better if those recommendations are coming from clients, if those recommendations are coming from customers or community leaders or other folks, other voices, even your peers, maybe even your competition, that you are a upstanding, legit operation, and that your checks will cash, and that the quality of work will be good, what have you. Get the recommendations from outside that internal funnel, that internal silo. Seek recommendations from folks outside of your hiring, outside of the people who get the same paycheck as you. Get those community leaders, get those other organizations to step forward and say, hey, the Rocket Group or John's Hospital or whatever is a great place to work. And that'll give more social credence, more social proof, more social and digital evidence for people to find when they are researching you as a place of possible employment. And that goes along with the next point, which is, again, have that digital trail. Be active across all the social media platforms that are effective for you. Be not just LinkedIn, but especially LinkedIn if that's where your job placement's going to be, because there's going to be links in your open placement, your open hiring placement, that are going to be connected back to you yourself, your organization, and what have you. And again, that needs to be there and it needs to be active. There's going to be Googling going on. It's the 21st century. We're all Google detectives now, right? So we can go and Google your organization and see what it is that people are saying about you, from your Yelp score to your LinkedIn recommendations to what have you. So be sure that your digital trail is there and effective and working for you, not against you. Something that's important to consider as well, and we just talked about this, but utilize your internal customers. The best customers you have are the ones that are already working for you when it comes to hiring and recruiting folks into an organization, right? So let's use our internal customers, our employees, folks that you know that have active social communities, have active digital communities. Get them to like and share and comment upon your job posting, most especially share on LinkedIn, share into the other social communities. Have them emailing it to their Christmas card list. You never can tell when the next CEO or the next lead bottle washer of your organization might come through connections made through your internal customers. So be sure to utilize those folks. We've got a couple of examples on the blog post on rocketgroupllc.com as well. and such. So another thing that people overlook a lot, especially larger organizations that are recruiting into a place, maybe it's not New York, maybe it's not LA, but you need to be a leader in your community. And when I say that, I'm not talking about the digital community at this point. I'm talking about your real world community. I'm broadcasting this live here from Jefferson City, Missouri, your state capital, if you're watching this and you're a fellow Missourian. You need to be a leader in your community. Here in Jefferson City, we've been very active in a lot of different things, maybe not as much anymore. But when we look to organizations who lead in this community, I can name 4 or 5 right off the top of the head, or right off the top of the bat, that do an extraordinary amount of work in the community, whether it's sponsorships, whether it's supporting nonprofits, whether it's whatever. And they're constantly in the headlines, they're constantly in items I could search and find related to Jefferson City in the news. So your organization needs to do such as well, because if you're not leaving that digital trail across your community, it shows that you're an organization that's, one, not involved in your community, and 2, maybe it says something about the community as a whole. And when here we go back to our trailing family, our spouse, our significant other, our kids. They're going to be Googling where mom or dad wants them to move. And if that doesn't come up with a great rating, a great results about the community that you're possibly going to relocate that family to, well, it impacts the decision of the person that you're trying to recruit. So use all the tools that are available to you. Something that we recommend to do is this is a Periscope right here. I'm recording this on my phone. It's set up on a tripod. You can do the same sort of thing, or just walk around town with your cell phone recording video and recording interviews about your community, and create some YouTube content, create some video content to post across the internet. Have on your web, have on your YouTube, have on your Facebook, have on your LinkedIn, that people can find about you, touting the values and the benefits of your community as a place to live and work. I think it's something that's probably overlooked a lot when it comes to recruiting folks from out of town into a new town. According to the HR professionals we've talked to in the past about doing this very thing, if you can do something along those lines to promote that community, you'll be doing a lot better selling job to the rest of the family of the recruit that you're trying to bring into your organization. So here we are, Christmas Eve. Maybe this is hopeful. We've seen some news lately of some layoffs and such going on out there in the world. I wish you all the best if you've had to go through that type of situation. But maybe there's organizations out there right now that are using LinkedIn to look at you, to look at your profile, and maybe you are doing the same on their profiles. So if you've got some sort of story that you'd like to share, we'd like to hear about it. Again, hit me up at Rocket Group here on Periscope, on the Twitter, and rocketgroupllc.com is the website. Feel free to reach out to us anytime with any information you'd like to share, and we'd like to hear those stories, and maybe it becomes another piece of these 31 days of LinkedIn. Guys and gals, thank you for watching. We do appreciate the time. We'll be back with you. Actually, we've got plans to do something on Christmas Day tomorrow. I know my family's really going to enjoy me doing so, but we want to keep on schedule here and knock out these and 31 days of pieces of content and have it be beneficial and add value to all of our watchers, our readers, and our Twitter followers, and our Facebook fans, and what have you. Please do connect with us across all those social media channels as well. If you are still watching this video, hit the subscribe button on YouTube. It's down in the bottom corner here. Subscribe to us on the Periscope, and follow us on Twitter, like us on LinkedIn, search at Rocket Group, and you'll find us on all of those channels. Appreciate your time. Merry Christmas, and we will talk to you very, very